Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming back friend to the program. He has just been, man, just a jewel in a gem to the city of Houston with everything that he's done, and was just recently honored at the, was it the Urban League, or was it, who was it, Henry?
UNCF.
UNCF Gala. That's what it was. Ladies and gentlemen, Henry Keculah is back on the program. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Thank you for having me on. and I'm Henry Keculah, and I am the CEO of 4.0 GPA, but I'm the president of the Liberian Association of Greater Houston.
That's right. 4.0 is in the building. And you brought a guest with you, Judge Bill Littlejohn. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to you,
How
sir.
are you?
I am great.
You know, we were talking off mic, and we're both from the same city and town.
Same city.
Dayton, Ohio is in the building. How long have you been in Houston?
I've been here since 2009.
Since
I
2009.
retired from the bench and moved here.
Okay, nice. And well, clearly you like it, because here it is 11 years later.
Yes.
And you're still here.
Yeah.
So good to see you.
Thank you.
So Henry, you're here to talk about Point of Return Liberia, African History and Society series that is going on. When is this happening, my man?
The date for this event is on February 29th at 10 o'clock a.m. at TSU University, Historic Black College Institution, HBCU, and we are ready to rumble. It's going to be a great event, a lot of great people on the panel, and I have one sitting next to me as well.
Let me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess the Houston International Trade Development Council, they are the ones that are in association with the Liberian Association of Greater Houston for this event. Please tell us about the Houston International Trade Development Council.
Well, Mr. Val Thompson is unable to be here this morning, but he is the president of that organization, a great international trade organization. I've been on several trips with him, twice to China, once to India, Panama, but he does these trips, and he understands the historical value of Liberia. And he partnered with all of us about this particular Black History Month and talking about the point of return to Africa.
Yeah, and that seems to be the conversation is being had a lot more here lately. You've got celebrities that are have dual citizenships in certain countries over in Africa, especially like Liberia. I think T.I., I believe I heard. Who else? Ludacris just had dual citizenship. So it is finally it's becoming a thing. I think it's past time, because I feel as if, I don't know how true it is. I have heard from other immigrants, African immigrants that, come over here from Nigeria or Liberia or Ethiopia, wherever it may be, that the propaganda that the U.S. government puts on them, like, I'm told that they show them a video before they or is granted, their card or, citizenship or whatever. And in this video, they basically tell these Africans to not migrate, associate themselves with Black Americans, because we are whatever they tell them that, we are. And I've heard this from some folks from that are from a country over in Africa that has come over here. And I said, this just, again, proves how powerful we are. They're so afraid. They don't even want us to, they don't even want us to talk to each other, because they know once the conversation gets going and we tap into the power that we've always had, by the way.
When you think about the African countries, you got to understand there's 55 different African countries.
Right.
Over 2,000 different languages are spoken. And it depends on which country you're talking about. You just heard something about Nigeria, where there was a ban on Nigeria because of the Muslim population.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, each individual country that we can talk about. There is a Prosper Africa that this administration does have, trying to benefit Africa. But I know that there are more smaller countries. They're not talking about Nigeria, which has 200 million people.
Right.
They're talking about the countries maybe 10, 12, 13 million people.
Okay. I like that. You listen to Access Houston, talking to Judge Bill Littlejohn and Henry Keculah from the Houston International Trade Development Council. So economic development and trade opportunities are happening in Liberia, yes?
Yes. And we want people to understand that Liberia is the oldest black republic, meaning that in 1822, the first freed African-American slaves were shipped over to Liberia. And Liberia, the first president was from America. He was from Virginia, Mr. Roberts, Joseph Jenkins Roberts. And we want people to get back to the culture that makes Liberia so unique, is that it's the first black republic and the oldest one in Liberia, founded by free black Americans.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let me say this, you talked about Dayton, Ohio. Mm-hmm. The fifth president was from Newark, Ohio. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. He was the fifth president. Yeah.
Wow.
If you look at the flag of Liberia is identical to America, and it only has one star instead of 50. And the capital of Liberia is named after President James Monroe. So it makes it unique. And that's what separates Liberia from all of the other African countries, because the other countries were colonized. Okay. We were not colonized by anybody.
And it's interesting on that same vein, when we talk about the return to Africa, we say the point of return. Yeah. We're not saying return to Africa like in Ghana, giving you dual citizenship. We're talking about there's only one country, and that's Liberia, where there's a point of return. Those are freed Africans and free people and slaves that were sent to the Pepper Coast, we call it.
Oh, my goodness.
Coast. Yes, sir.
Has the hottest peppers in the world.
You two have me so intrigued about visiting Liberia. I mean, it wasn't on my radar at all, but just through this conversation now, we might have to go. Do you all take trips over there? Have you been? Well, Henry, I'm sure you've been.
We have a trip planned for October 8th of this year.
Oh, wow.
And you'll get that from Mr. Val Thompson of the Houston International Trade Development Council. And
I'm sure the payment's already due.
No,
because I would jump on that. Yeah.
He's going to take about 18 people, no more than that. Uh-huh. And he's working on it right now. Wow. And Henry's going to be with us also.
Yeah. Have you tell us about your experience there, Henry?
Unfortunately, this is going to be one of my first trips to Liberia, but I'm so excited to go there. And the great thing about Liberia, the official language of Liberia is English. Yeah. Oh. And so you're going to feel like home. I'm going to feel like home when I'm there.
Yeah.
I've been to Liberia 3 times.
Yeah.
And we're doing farming over there in Bombay County, trying to raise and elevate the livelihood of people. We're going to be doing solar energy for them so people can learn how to be entrepreneurs. They'll learn how to repair them and install them. And we're also doing a farming. We just bought, I was telling Henry about this, we're buying 2,000 chickens. It costs $1.25 per chicken.
What?
But we're gonna grow chickens and eggs and on and on and on.
Wow, that is amazing. You listen to Access Houston, talking to Henry Keculah and Judge Bill Littlejohn. Point of Return Liberia, African History and Society series is happening on Saturday, February 29th at TSU and the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs. Absolutely. Oh, this is a complimentary admission, I see. Mm-hmm. That means free. So come and get educated because I am so intrigued.
You know, I think Henry's going to bring some dancers.
Yes, we're going to have some dancers from TSU performing. Mm-hmm. And we are, my company, 4.0 GPA, is going to be giving a raffle scholarship to one college student in attendance. So we want everybody to be there, because we're going to be talking about the importance of Liberia. Why is it important for people to start investing in Liberia? And when you look at Liberia next year, the actual economy is expected to grow by over 3%. But I want students to come out and learn about this and have the chance of being awarded some scholarship funding.
Oh, and that's the key right there. Yes. Some scholarship funding. So, yeah, save that date. Saturday, February 29th, 10 a.m., 10 to 2. At TSU and the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs. Judge Littlejohn, you mentioned one county in Liberia that you've been to. What other?
I mentioned Bombay County. I've been to Buchanan. I've been to Maryland County. And most of those countries have different origins based on what came from America. You have a group out of Kentucky. You have a group out of Mississippi, which had the largest slave population to go settle there. So you have those, and eventually all of them came together. I think it was 1847 to be one country, But the origin was a little different. All of them from America, of course.
Wow, this is exciting. Like I'm literally tingling inside by this information and just knowing all of this stuff that you all just said to me. I had no idea that Liberia was so close to America over in Africa.
And let me say this, you probably heard of Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
Well, that's the 19th century. All this happened in the 18th century before Marcus Garvey even came around. Wow. And then you heard of Du Bois, et cetera, talking about back to Africa movement, that type of thing. But there are a lot of black people didn't want to go back to Africa. They said, no, we're fine. We just want equal rights right here. So you still have that going on today. When you're talking about the Kwanzaa, that's an offshoot of that also. Yeah. And it's amazing. It is
amazing. So come and get educated more about it. Okay. The Point of Return Liberia, African History and Society series on Saturday, February 29th at TSU, the Barbara Jordan Mickey Leland School of Public Affairs. Gentlemen, the show is totally packed, so I got to go, but I want to thank you all for coming on, and unbeknownst to you all, this is the final Access Houston. So you all are on the last show.
Oh, high honor. Thank you very much for having us.
I just want to say thank you for all of your hard work and hard effort that you do for the city of Houston.
Thank you.
You've been a great role model for many.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I mean, the work will continue, not this format, this interview style format that I do for this show, but thank you all. Thank you, Henry, for those kind words.
And, count us in, count the community in. We're looking for entrepreneurs.
Indeed. So listen, I appreciate you all coming on, and hopefully you'll be back, just under another capacity, but because I'll still be needing your expertise and opinions. So don't look so distraught, Henry. It's all good. It's okay. I know it might be shocking, but it's okay. We're good. But thank you for those kind words, and thank you all for coming on. And thank you for listening to Access Houston. Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming a first-timer on the show. However, he is a market icon. Representing the Houston Community College. Y'all know him as King. Ladies and gentlemen, Karl Mays is in the building. How you doing, man?
I'm in the building, man.
Welcome.
Hey, brother, I'm excited to be here to finally get a chance to sit down with the KG Smooth.
Oh, well, thank you so much, man. I'm glad that you're here, man.
Yeah, man.
Amazing voice, by the way.
I appreciate that,
voice.
brother. You're the same.
I feel like I should be probably worried about my job.
No, trust me, you got it down. The analogy, sometimes I listen to you, I'm driving with my wife and I say, hey, cut that down a little bit. I like that brother sound
too. For those
too.
who don't know, he's talking about the Quiet Storm. I host the Quiet Storm on Magic 102 at nights. And so that's what it is. Man, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
HCC, been doing some amazing things for the entire community, friends to the program. They've been on here countless numbers of times.
That's right.
And you all are back with the Black History Scholarship Gala that's happening on the 29th. That's Saturday.
Yeah, that's a leap day, too.
Yeah, I know.
So remember, so in 4 years, this won't be back for 4 years. We only 4 years from now.
Y'all only do this on leap years?
No, it's just this particular day. February 29th. That's a pleasurable day. I tell people all the time, listen. If somebody tells you they got February 29th already booked and it was 5 months ahead of time, 9 times out of 10, they're not telling the truth.
Oh.
So your February 29th might not be booked. It might be booked now, but at the end of the day, try to make something happen.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a glorious day because you all are honoring our queens, our black women.
Yes.
With the theme is the empowerment of the black woman.
That's
2019 amazing year for Black women starting businesses,
Yes.
and just Black businesses that are ran by females.
That's right.
Worldwide,
Yeah.
not just in this country.
No, we're talking
Around
about
the world.
Yeah, and then a lot of it is truly getting the word queen back out there. I always say that in so many different dynamics. When we speak of social media and all that, sometimes Black women can kind of get caught up and be seen wrong. You know what I'm saying, or portrayed wrong. But this is an opportunity to truly be able to get them back to shine, and definitely having that Black. I don't want to say Black girl, but I'm gonna say Black woman magic.
Yeah,
happening here in Houston. So we're gonna make sure we bring it to life.
It is happening. It is happening. I mean, just with the election of the 19 judicial judges.
That's right. We got what was it, 20? 19 or 20 of them?
19 of them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. 3 of them friends of mine. So that's exciting.
It was beautiful, but you know what, Karl? You know what they're trying to do up here in Austin now?
I've heard. Yeah. I don't know how to articulate
Voting in
it.
these judges work all this time.
Right.
All this time.
Right.
It worked perfectly fine.
But the challenge is
As soon as 19 Black judges get elected,
It's a
they're
problem.
like, it's a problem.
It's a
now.
problem.
And so now they want to appoint
That's right.
judges like they do on the federal level.
That's right.
Instead of having us
That's
vote
right.
for them.
That's
Ain't
right.
that about a BI?
Change the process.
Yeah.
They want to change the process now to be able to still control the outcome. See,
Right.
what happens is when people get woke,
Yeah.
and the outcome starts to change, not in the favor of those who put the process in place the first time, because they thought people would still sleep. And all of a sudden, people woke up and you had a different outcome. We got to try to make some changes. And who gave who the right to be able to say this was the time to be able to make the change
Right.
at this particular time?
Right. Oh, hey, man.
Irony. Irony is what I'm going to say. The universe has adjusted itself. But remember,
yeah.
when the universe adjusts itself, it will adjust itself again.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, with the empowerment of the Black woman that you all are doing, y'all got some pretty iconic actresses that will be keynote speakers for this gala.
Yeah. And we're gonna take a different approach. The cool thing is we talked to them about keynoting, but then we said, you know what, the gala has always had great people to kind of keynote. We said, you know what, let's probably do a discussion style. We have a meeting later on today, but at the end of the day, I think that the way we're going to approach it is more from a discussionary aspect, because you got two very, very prominent faces that relates to the blessing and the understanding of progressive African American women.
And who are those women that will be
This
there?
is Lynn Whitfield and Robin Givens, legends too.
Legends.
So we're not talking. And no offense to my newbies, still trailblazers.
This is legendary.
This is legendary, and they so they wanted to be able to do something from more of a talk. And so we may bring in another legend. I'm not saying that name yet because it's still kind of on the table, but to be able to moderate, just to talk with them and from question to answer, talking about life, to the changes in Hollywood, the changes of what they had to deal with and how they stayed poised in the midst of
This other legend that you can't speak on, would she happen to be from Houston?
Yes.
She's from, okay, say no more. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less. Say less.
So that may be happening, but I don't want to put the cart before the horse. But one
Say
of
less.
the things we want to do is make sure people are in the building. I always say to be able to witness it live is a caveat to life. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not able to, definitely be able to send some progressive people to be able to do so, or help some students to be able to attend so they can be able to see it live as well.
You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Karl Mays. He is one of the Gala committee members for the Houston Community College Black History Scholarship Gala.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I like it. But you know what, KG? I like it. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause
This is
what
the 13th annual.
Yes.
13 years. That's nothing to scoff at.
No, not at all. And they're open to be able to change. And what I mean by that is one of the things we've been talking about is it truly being a more entertaining gala. Not that it hasn't been in the past, but I think that sometimes, we as Black folk, when we do events, we kind of cringe a little bit at pushing the envelope. But I believe in, if other people that are not of color are there to be able to celebrate us as well, then let's just celebrate who we are and what we do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't change for nobody. I always say you don't change when I come to your house and kick it. You don't change for me a certain
I'll
kind of way.
just clean up.
Right. That's
I ain't
it.
changing around the living room.
That's
I'm a
it.
clean up.
That's it. That's exactly it. So I think in the past what has happened is they've tried to do a controlled environment, and I think it's going to be etiquette oriented, but it's going to be a great time. My motto is, listen, man, you don't stop dancing because you get old. You get old because you stop dancing.
Hey.
So we're gonna have to get them back. You're gonna feed these people this food, all that sodium gonna go to their feet. Let's not let let it just swell up. At the end of the day, they can stop by CVS on the way home. We gonna kick it. KG, we kicking it, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Dead. I'm dead. Listening to Access Houston, Karl May's HCC Black History Scholarship Gala. Saturday, February 29th, you've got the legendary Lynn Whitfield and Robin Givens, who will be keynote speakers. 6 p.m. at the Hilton Americas downtown in Houston. Can you just please briefly tell these folks the benefits of going to a school like Houston Community College?
I'm glad you asked that. So let's address the folklores. And I'm gonna say it even before I've been at HCC about nine and a half years now. And the folklore is that, people don't know what they don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the community college works like this, guys. The community college takes care of the community because the community takes care of the community college. What I mean by that is that every time, if you live in the HISD district anywhere, or a little bit of A-Leaf, a little bit of Fort Bend, technically you are a taxpayer into the community college. Mm-hmm. So every time a person makes a mortgage payment or makes a rent payment, a portion of that payment goes towards the community college. So whether or not your children or yourself goes to the community college, you're supporting it anyway. Mm-hmm. Right. So and to compare it from a class orient, if a person is inside of those districts, they are what they call an in-district student. An in-district student basically pays for a 3 credit hour course. They only pay $210. Right? So I teach sociology. So I'm a sociology professor outside of everything that I do. I've taught at U of H. My sociology class at University of Houston is about $1,400 for a class. I might have maybe 300-400 students in that class.
And that's for that semester.
Right. And then just that one class. And then I am the same dude. I teach the same course, SOCI 1301, Intro to Sociology. I have the same textbook. And over at HCC, that exact same course, I'm the same dude. I'm $210. And it's a transferable course. So in all, if that does not bring you to a reality to understand that if you are doing your basics with your transfer courses, you can basically take all 60 of your undergrad courses before you transfer to the 4-year institution, because whether you go to the institution initially, your first 2 years are spent doing nothing but your basics, which is your histories, your governments, your English, your maths, your college, all of that stuff that is needed on both ends. Those are 3 credit hour courses apiece. You can knock all of them out at the community college for a little less than $4,000.
Look at God.
If you go one semester, and I'm just using University of Houston as an example, but University of Houston or Texas Southern, one semester might run you about $6,000. On average, 6 to 8, right? Mm-hmm. So when you will have already finished 60 credit hours for a little less than $4,000 with your community college, then you get it now, right? So
what's wild is that the cost of tuition clearly has inflated tremendously,
right?
Because you mentioning that at a university, $6,000 to $8,000. Yeah. My freshman year, I remember I was a little late with everything, getting scholarships, all that, the Pell Grant.
We all were, trust me.
I was late,
right?
Okay? But my grandmother paid for my first semester at the University of Cincinnati, and I remember seeing that bill, and I remember it being like $1,678 something.
Yeah.
$6,000 to $8,000 for one.
Yeah, for one, and that's one semester. So you talk about it in a year's time. It's anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 a year at a 4-year institution. And the challenge that you're having, especially bringing it back to the gala, when you talk about African American students, let's talk about the minority male. The minority male, whether it's at a PWI, predominantly white institution, or an HBCU, the minority male is on a decline with finishing college. Right now, this is across the board around the country. I'll give you an example. At U of H or either Prairie View, basically Prairie View had 610 new freshmen males, African American males, this past August, out of about 2,000. I think their largest freshman class. So based on a 4-year matriculation plan, based on data, about 275 of them will finish. So that's a problem, and not because of an academic understanding, but it can be anything from how they deal with vulnerability.
It's a problem, bro. It's an epidemic
across the country. So we're talking about that. When you talk about from a financial standpoint, being able to do something about it, this is where the gala comes in. All the proceeds from the gala of the tables sold, the cost to get in, the auction items that they're going to auction off, all of those proceeds are there to be able to benefit our foundation side, which is our nonprofit side of HCC, to be able to allow those students to apply for those scholarships, and they go to students of African American descent. That's how you bring that thing full circle.
That's how you bring it full circle.
And again, you won't solve a huge epidemic or problem, but what you can do is be a part of the solution.
The solution, yes,
and not
sir.
the problem. Yeah,
indeed. So, do your part. You already helping contribute anyway.
That's right.
Through taxes. So
That's
let's
right.
help them out a little more with the Houston Community College, the Empowerment of the Black Woman, Black History Scholarship Gala. That is Saturday, February 29th at the Hilton Americas downtown. You can log on to hcc.edu.
HCTS.
So HCCS, excuse me. Yeah,
no,
you're
that's
right.
fine. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
hccs.edu/Black History. Get all the information. Karl, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it.
This is your first time on the show.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is your last because this is the last episode of Access Houston.
So that's a caveat.
This is it. It's a wrap.
So we're going to have to make sure we talk about you to continue something on podcast-wise.
Yeah,
the
so
new
this
won't
show.
be my last time kicking it with you.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So the new show, which will premiere next Sunday,
Okay.
is called Public Affairs.
Okay.
It'll be hosted by myself
Okay.
and Uncle Funky Larry Jones.
Okay,
from Magic
Uncle Funky.
102.
Shout out to Uncle Funky.
And so instead of the interview style format that this show is, this new one, Public Affairs, will be more issue-driven debate style.
Gotcha.
So
That's
I
good.
will definitely be hitting you up for your expertise on social issues when we come back around.
Let's
But
do it, brother.
thank you for coming on.
Man, I
and
appreciate
save the
you
date
having
for
me.
Saturday the 29th for the HCC Black History Scholarship Gala. So thank you, man.
I appreciate all you guys.
No doubt.
Yes.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.